Hello there, it's Sarah from Paper Lovely. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to give you a look at the stencil of the month from Spellbinders. This is called Burst Mode, and it is 5 layers of this sunray background. So pretty. I am going to turn this into a rainbow design. There are the perfect amount of rays to do your full Roy G. Biv. And then we have this top layer here, which is going to give you this little burst. You could do a shimmer or something extra special that you want to stand out, which is going to hit all the way around in what would be an 8th color. And then we have this gorgeous texture that we can add over top with these sort of dots that we can add. So giving you a full look there at the stencil. I am going to leave in the full coloring. This is going to take a bit. I've sped it up to about 600%. And I'm going to use my Distress Oxide to create this rainbow burst. And I am using this in the colors Worn Lipstick, Spiced Marmalade, Squeezed Lemonade, Twisted Citron, Peacock Feathers, and Seedless Preserves. So I'm going to go ahead, turn up the music, let you enjoy the process. I'm going to meet you back sort of in the middle as we move to the next set of the stencils. And then, of course, we'll continue on to finish off the card. So here as we lift this, oh, wow, take a look at that rainbow. That was a lot of effort, but it was totally worth it. As you'll see, I'm kind of pulling in a ball cap that I have cut out there. The original plan for this was to have it be the background for a St. Patrick's Day card that I'm going to be showing you later, but I felt like it was too busy towards the end, adding more on top of it, and I wanted to just let this stencil shine. So as you can see there, I decided to use a spray for the gold going around. A spray is always risky with a stencil. You are never going to get a perfect design. However, it gives me the burst that I wanted and also a little bit of unpredictability. So we're going to stick with it and we're going to keep layering. I'm trying to branch out of my solid white cards as backgrounds that I normally do. So we're going to grow, we're going to try new things, and we're just going to keep going with it. If you want a more solid, I would suggest going with some type of a pigment ink. Maybe if you have a gold or silver pigment ink, you could try using that with a stencil, and it will give you a much, much more controlled color as you're placing that down. So here you can see we have moved on to our 5th and final layer, and I'm going to use some texture paste. Now this Distress Oxide ink is not completely dry. I have hit that with my heat gun so that I can move forward working with the stencils. But because of that, it is going to pick up a little bit of that dye into these white circles when it dries. So it's not going to be quite as stark of a white. If you don't want it to do that, I would suggest letting this dry overnight and then coming back with your texture paste. Look at that. Look at those layers. Look at that texture. I love it. I love the way this turned out. So now we are fully dried. I have let this sit overnight and we're going to go ahead and complete our card. I'm going to trim this down to 4 by 5.25, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball this. I'm taking just a little bit off one side, and then I will finish my measurement on the opposite side. That way I don't have any of that little tiny white border sticking out on the edges. I'm going to pop this up using some Scotch foam tape, and I have just worked from either ends, meeting in the middle there to cover what we have left. I'm going to make sure that's down nice and tight. Again, like with our watercoloring, because we have so many layers on this and we've used mixed media, we are going to have a little bit of warping. This tape is going to help keep this panel down nice and flat on our card base. This card base is made from our Spellbinders Raven cardstock. I'm going to go ahead here and press our panel into place. And I'll use my bone folder to make sure that's down nice and tight. We're going to finish up with our sentiments. I have cut out this Lucky You're Ours die. This was included in the stitched die of the month. Again, using some Raven cardstock. We've got some pop dots behind here, and we're going to press this down right in the middle. We'll go ahead and add our Nina panel on the inside so we can write a sentiment. And that will complete our card for today. Here are a few close-ups of the finished card. In the description box below, you'll find my blog post, which has additional photos and links to the supplies I've used. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.